We'll be giving the fifth speech from the Confident Communicator. It's Your Body Speaks, and the objective is to use gestures and facial expressions, eye contact, and movement to enhance her speech. Diane is a relatively new member, but she's been giving a series of speeches on how she has found true happiness. She told us about how she found her true happiness and strength in faith after facing several obstacles in her life, including being run over by a bus as a child and becoming paralyzed after a car accident and losing her fiance. Diane has relied on her faith and mindfulness as a coping mechanism. Tonight she will be closing up this series of speeches with a speech about lessons learned. She will be opening her speech with a poem that was written by her ex-fiance shortly before he passed away unexpectedly. Please help me welcome Diane Maginot giving the speech, Lessons Learned.
Shallow road. Strength. Is it going to a gym looking like a ready-built mannequin? Ha, I think not. The millionaires, the Barbie dolls, the Ken dolls. Do you find your strength in how much money you make? Or does it lie in your false appearance? Ha, what a shallow world we live in. I look at them and I just laugh. If something were to happen to them, they would fall apart like a 12-year-old Mr. Potato Head left with nothing to do but to rot away. Because they found their strength in this shallow world and their callous exterior. But imagine this. Imagine being left on the bookshelf forgotten, watching everyone else around you being loved as the years go by, and then being paralyzed at the age of 18. Imagine doing everything with one arm, shaving, brushing your teeth, tying your shoes, doing the things we take for granted every day, yet never once complaining. Having the ability to drop everything in a second's notice if a friend needs her. Seeing the good while letting all the bad go. But what about those other girls, the ones who washed my car, the ones who cooked for me, the ones who bought me gifts? I love them for what they did for me. Ha, how shallow of me. I'm not a pack of gum to be thrown away as soon as you get done using it. And then I met her. Her limp did not matter, but her laugh and gentle nature did. I love her for her beautiful smile, her skin so soft and tender, her honesty. She makes me better. I can only hope that I make her better. You ask who this is? Well, she is an angel. Not just my angel, but an angel God sent to make his world more beautiful. So this is to you, my love, and this is what I leave for you. You are just all the beautiful qualities mixed into a broken shell. Crawl out of that shell and grow. Do you find your happiness in watching TV? Well, imagine being blind, never even seeing the sunrise. Imagine being deaf, never even hearing Vivaldi in the Four Seasons. But give me an old-fashioned warrior like Helen Keller or Mozart. They turned their problems into their stepping stones, jumping over their hurdles in the road, instead of tripping over them, lying there like a dog in the street, licking their wounds, too afraid to get up. Because they did find their strength and beauty in this shallow road. None of us likes to feel bad or admit our faults or make mistakes, because there's always the possibility of rejection and failure. But we can hinder ourselves from growing by being scared. We would rather feel good and stay in our comfort zones than feel bad, so why even take that chance? Well, we have to take the chance because there's also the possibility of love and success. If anybody truly knows me, they know that I've had to fail a lot to become successful. Not only do we have to accept our own faults, mistakes, and faults, I think, but we have to accept that of other people. Paul and I lived an hour away from each other, so we only got to see each other maybe once or twice a week. if even that. But during this time, I looked out for him and he looked out for me, so it worked for us. In any type of relationship, it's about giving, growing, and loving, and not about ourselves. Paul once asked me if anything ever happened to him, if I would ever get married. Immediately I told him, nope, no way, it's not going to happen. Well, he made me promise him that day that if anything ever did happen to him, that I would never close myself up or quit writing. Well, after he died, I did close myself up and I did quit writing, and it slowly made me become a different person. It wasn't until just recently that I was able to get my faith back, learn the lessons that I needed to learn, and let Paul go. We all have weaknesses, we all have faults, and we all make mistakes. But that doesn't mean that we have to turn our mistakes and our faults into our weakness. This only happens if we let it. And if we're not careful, our strengths can also become our weakness. My greatest strength is my resilience. I know that I don't give up. And I almost turned it into a bad thing because since I don't give up, sometimes that's not good not to give up, but my resilience in itself is not a bad thing. My greatest weakness, you would look at me and you would say, oh, she's paralyzed, so that's her weakness. Honestly, I'm just happy to be standing up here talking to you guys. My greatest weakness that I'm working on right now would be that I have a little bitty problem with my short-term memory. So I tend to repeat myself up a lot, and I'm scared of personal relationships because of that. But eventually I'm going to turn that into my strength. And I still memorize every single one of my speeches, and I still had a 4.0 in college. Weakness, strife. Weakness. Negativity, strife, all lead to depression, anxiety, and despair. Strengths, positivity, optimism, all lead to happiness, peace, and love. Our society defines happiness as having good health, a lot of money, perfect kids along with the perfect spouse, and it puts this idea in our heads that we can't be happy unless we have these things. Well, let's be honest, how many of us can say we have these things? I know I can't, because I know that there's nothing in this life that is perfect. But I also know that I'm going to choose to learn the lessons that this life gives me and to be happy. But the real question is, what will you choose? Madam President.